Most people think the retirement dream is disappearing. For years, the state built a reputation on open land, low taxes, and affordable homes. But today, when retirees search online and see farmhouses listed for close to $1 million, many simply close the browser and look elsewhere. The story they hear is that Texas has become too expensive, too crowded, too unpredictable for anyone living on Social Security or fixed income savings. But here is the part almost no one talks about. Texas is huge, larger than most countries, and while some parts of the state have become unaffordable, there are still entire regions where the old Texas still exists. Places where a retiree can buy a home for under $150,000. Places where you can freeze your school taxes permanently at 65. Places where your annual tax bill can be lower than what many Americans spend on a single month of car insurance. The challenge is separating myth from reality and identifying the towns where the numbers truly work, not just on paper but in actual day-to-day living. Because affordability means nothing if your nearest hospital is 2 hours away, or if the town empties out the moment the sun goes down. That's why this video isn't just a list of cheap towns. It's a guide to understanding where retirees can realistically thrive in Texas in 2026. And our first stop is Childress. Childress is one of the rare Texas towns where affordability and healthcare intersect perfectly. The median home price sits around $145,000, low enough to be accessible, but high enough to signal a stable community. What truly sets Childress apart is its hospital. Childress Regional Medical Center is not just good for a small town, it has been recognized as one of the top 20 rural hospitals in the United States. That is the kind of recognition most rural communities dream of. For retirees, healthcare is not a luxury, it is the deciding factor. And Childress gives you room to breathe financially and medically. Now let us head south to the very bottom tip of Texas, to Brownsville, one of the most affordable coastal cities in the entire state. Here the median home price hovers around $118,000, according to Zillow data from 2024. The cost of living index is around 70, meaning your daily expenses, groceries, gas, and utilities are roughly 30% cheaper than the U.S. average. Brownsville offers warm weather year-round, access to the Gulf of Mexico, and a strong cultural community that values family, tradition, and slow living. While Texas property taxes are high, low home values keep the total tax bill manageable. For retirees dreaming of coastal life without coastal prices, Brownsville is one of the strongest options left. Travel north and you will find Seymour, a town that feels like a callback to Texas from 40 years ago. Seymour sits in the north-central plains, surrounded by gentle hills, open sky, and true ranch land. The median home price is under $100,000, and unlike many rural markets, Seymour offers verified, real acreage at realistic prices. 10-acre properties under $150,000 are common. 50 to 75-acre properties priced around $200,000 are not outliers, they are normal. And the town has its own critical access hospital, which gives retirees the comfort of knowing that emergencies do not require a long drive. Seymour is ideal for anyone wanting space and affordability, with quiet and room to roam, without total isolation. But not everyone wants acres of land. Some retirees want small-town living with easy access to a big city. That is where Gainesville comes in. Gainesville sits just below the Oklahoma border, close enough to the Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex that major hospitals, Veterans Affairs services, shopping centers, and specialists remain within reach. The town itself offers a slower pace, traditional Main Street charm, and home prices that still regularly fall under $150,000. For retirees who want the best of both worlds, affordability and infrastructure, Gainesville remains one of the smartest plays in North Texas. Farther south, Zapata offers something few Texas counties can claim: extremely low taxes and guaranteed access to health care. Zapata County carries an effective property tax rate of just 0.76%, one of the lowest in Texas, and the median home price sits near $115,000. What makes Zapata unique is its healthcare network. The town hosts a sliding-scale community clinic and a county-supported indigent health program, ensuring that retirees of all backgrounds have access to medical care. It becomes far more than a cheap retirement town. It becomes a realistic one. And then there is Matador, arguably the single most budget-friendly housing market in Texas. Median home values are between $30,000 and $40,000, so Matador represents the extreme end of affordability. Yes, the tax rate is high, but when home values are that low, the total tax bill typically remains under $500 a year. For retirees looking to freeze their school taxes at 65 and keep monthly expenses permanently predictable, Matador is more of a financial strategy than a location. Living here is not about luxury. It is about stability, simplicity, and long-term security. If you would rather stay close to Central Texas without paying Central Texas prices, Marlin deserves attention. Located near Waco, Marlin offers median home prices around $120,000, and it sits in a cluster of counties with some of the lowest cost of living scores in the state, often measuring in the mid-70s. That means groceries, gas, utilities, and services are all significantly cheaper than the national average, making Marlin an affordable option. Best of all, Marlin is less than an hour from the Baylor Scott and White medical system, so retirees remain close to major medical services. That means they can enjoy the peace of rural life without the vulnerability that comes from being too far from care. Huntsville, on the other hand, offers an entirely different type of environment: tall pine trees, winding hiking trails, and lakes surrounded by shade. It is a retirement destination for people who want nature, but not the high prices associated with Austin or the Texas Hill Country. Homes here typically range from $170,000 to $180,000, but retirees can still find listings under $150,000 with patience. Huntsville Memorial Hospital provides medical coverage, while Huntsville State Park and the Sam Houston National Forest offer outdoor recreation without the crowds. For retirees wanting peace and green landscapes, Huntsville remains one of the best options in East Texas. Then there's Port Lavaca, a quiet coastal community where the Gulf breeze replaces traffic noise and the cost of living remains surprisingly reasonable. Median home prices fall between $150,000 and $160,000, and many smaller homes come in below the $150,000 threshold. Port Lavaca isn't flashy. It isn't a tourist destination, but it offers affordable Bayside living, access to fishing and boating, and a local hospital that supports the surrounding communities. For retirees who dream of living near the water without getting priced out, Port Lavaca stands almost alone on the Texas Gulf Coast. And finally, we come to Amarillo, a city that itself is affordable, but whose true value lies in the small towns that surround it. Amarillo's median home price sits around $148,000, and its cost of living index of 80 means expenses are 20% below the national average. But the real strategy is retiring outside Amarillo, 30 to 60 minutes away, where land is extremely cheap, and the pace of life slows to a comfortable crawl. Because even if you choose rural life, you are still within reach of major hospitals, specialists, big box stores, and an airport. Amarillo is the safety net that makes remote retirement possible. Texas isn't a one-size-fits-all retirement state. It's a puzzle, one where affordability, taxes, healthcare, weather, and personal preference all fit together differently for every retiree. But the towns we explored today prove one thing clearly: the Texas retirement dream isn't gone. Not even close. You just have to know where to look and how to choose a town that fits your lifestyle, your health needs, and your budget. For retirees willing to explore beyond the major metro areas, Texas still offers space, freedom, community, and financial breathing room. And if rising prices have made you think the door is closed, it hasn't. The landscape has simply shifted. The opportunities are still here. You just have to find the right piece of Texas to call home.